Yo, what the fuck is going on, everybody? It is RoyalStonerz here. Welcome back to the goddamn channel. How is everybody doing today? Let me know down below in the comments. Today, we are doing fucking amazing, like always, guys. You know, I'm having a fucking beautiful day, like always, over here on the channel. We like to keep the vibes up and going. We don't want any bad vibes around here on the channel, boys and girls. We only accept the good ones, okay? So, look, boys, before we get into this video today, how the fuck has everybody been? I don't think I've asked that question here recently on the channel. How the fuck has everybody been? What have y'all been up to? What have y'all been doing lately? I'm just curious, because all I've been doing is sitting around smoking weed and making YouTube videos. And, you know, speaking of smoking weed, guys, we need to take a fucking bong rip before we get into today's story time. So let's fucking do that real quick, boys and girls. Get your pipe, your blunt, your bowl, your bong, whatever the fuck you're smoking on, your dabs, your fucking nectar collector, your G-Pin Connect. Get that shit ready and fucking smoke up with me, boys and girls, because we're about to get faded over here today. Cheers, boys. Ooh. Oh, that was a fucking giant hit. Holy shit. Alright, guys, that bowl got me fucking zooted. I am on planet Jupiter right now, boys. We are faded than a hoe in this bitch, alright? So, look, today we are going to be bringing up a pretty touchy subject. It's kind of like a sensitive subject, honestly, because a lot of people out there have dealt with people overdosing and have dealt with all this, you know, all the shenanigans behind fucking drug abuse and stuff like that. So I just want to get this out of the way before we start talking about today's story time. Guys, if you're feeling depressed or if you're feeling low out there, go talk to somebody. Talk to me. Go follow the Instagram and talk to me, man. I'm out here. I'm with it. I will talk to you. I'll tell you anything you need to know about drugs, bro. I will help you out. I love you all, bro, and I would hate to see anybody out there get hurt. So look, today we're going to be talking about maybe one of the dumbest fucking drug experiences that I have ever fucking had in my entire life. I don't really know how I necessarily feel about this fucking time, because during this time I was in a really bad state of mind. I was super fucking depressed, guys. I was doing all different kinds of drugs, like not just fucking fentanyl. I was doing meth, Benadryl, fucking, let's see, anything, bro. I was doing pregabalin, fucking kratom, gabapentin, Norcos, tramadol. I was doing all kinds of fucking stupid shit at this time, boys and girls. This was a very different part of my life. I wasn't even doing fentanyl during this time. I was only doing meth, Benadryl, and all that other stupid shit. So look, motherfuckers, let's get into this godforsaken trip report. How this story time began was, boys and girls, we're gonna start off whenever the day began, okay? Before all of the shenanigans and bullshit started to happen, this is what happened, alright? RoyalStonerz woke up. It was a beautiful, bright and sunny morning, and the only thing different about this bright and sunny morning was that we had to go to a parade today, right? Now, where I live, boys and girls, we have parades, okay? Now, I'm gonna let y'all take a wild guess and assume where I'm from now that y'all know that we have parades and shit here, okay? Alright, so look, it was a parade day, right? And I was dating this girl at the time that we're gonna call Lucy. You guys know Lucy. I think we called her Lucy in the crashing my car, or crashing the car while on MDA video. She was the girl who brought the fucking dog over, you know? The girl that I was dating at the time, okay? We had to go pick her up and shit this day, or we were supposed to at first, right? But we'll get into that. So, you know, I woke up, right? I got out of bed, I went into my living room, and I talked with my family for a little bit and shit, and, you know, after that, I went and brushed my teeth, you know, I got ready for the fucking day. I was like, what the fuck are we gonna be doing today, boys? Obviously, I knew that I was gonna get high, but I wasn't really worried about it too much, because during this time, my mom had just got back from being in jail. She just got out of prison, so, like, I had the fucking connects. I had any way I wanted to get high, boys and girls. I didn't have to worry during this time, okay? Like, I was straight, bro. It was a fucking horrible and good time, okay? So I wasn't worrying about getting high today because I knew it was gonna happen, right? So I don't really remember what happened during the morning, but I remember sometime during the afternoon, I was chilling in my room, right? And my mom comes into my room talking to me, and she's like, hey, do you think that we could get some mushrooms and some acid for the parade, right? And I'm just like, yeah, I know where to get that. Let's get some right now. Fuck yeah, I bet. Do you want to get some before we go? Or, like, when we go to get Lucy? Or, like, do you want to get some now? And she was just like, we can get it before we go, okay? And I was just like, fuck yeah, bet. Let's fucking go. That's gonna be lit. I was like, okay, the only fucking cursor is, Mom, you have to buy me a tab and a mushroom bar, okay? And she was like, fuck it, fine, I got you, okay? So, as you OG motherfuckers might know, my mom always came in clutch with the drugs back in the day. Nowadays, my mother's a sober human being and is on the right track, so she doesn't really do much of that anymore. But back then, man, whoa, we used to get crazy. It was lit. It was like a friendship type thing. It wasn't even like a mother and son thing, you know? But look, time passed by. We were chilling at my house and shit, and it eventually came time for us to leave, okay? So, you know, me and my mom left by ourselves. We didn't leave with my grandma and them. My grandma and my little brother and my aunt, they all left in their car, and I left with my mom in her car because, you know, we were off to go on a fucking mission, boys and girls. We were going to go get fucking acid and mushrooms so that we could have a lit time at this parade, okay? It wasn't even really because of just that. It was also because we had to go stop by this apartment place, and I didn't really know why we had to at the time. I just honestly thought this was gonna get in the way of our plans and shit, but my mother insisted on us having to go there, so, you know, we were off to go have a fucking adventure, boys and girls. We were off to go stop by this apartment, and then we were gonna go to the parade, and where we were gonna go pick up Lucy, and then we were gonna go to the parade, right? Well, wrong. We end up going, and we get to this apartment place, right, boys and girls, and I'm pretty sure the only reason we were here is because my mother had to make a meth stop, but this is where shit starts to hit the fan a little bit for my mother. She starts to have a mental fucking breakdown when we get to this bitch, so we get there, right? We're all chilling and shit, and I'm talking to my mother, and she starts getting quiet and stuff, and I think it's because I'm in the hotel room with her. I'm just like, do you want me to leave or something, Mom? And she's just like, no, no, no. And I'm just like, are you okay, Mom? And she's like, don't fucking talk to me. And I'm just like, all right, my bad, right? It was probably because deep down in her soul, she knew what she was doing was wrong, bringing me around these people. But anyways, and I'm in there just talking and shit, and this one tweaker dude, I don't even want to talk about the people who we were in this apartment with because they were some bad motherfuckers, right? But I'm just going to tell y'all one little detail of this because I want to move on quickly to whenever we met the acid dude and got mushrooms and stuff in the parade. But while we were at this place, right, this dude who was in the bathroom shooting up fucking meth just goes, hey, quit talking shit about me. And I'm like, shut your tweaker schizophrenic ass the fuck up, because I ain't talking shit about you, bro. And I said this to this motherfucker with the balls of fucking steel, boys. I don't know what it was, like, what was in me, but I just was sick of my mother taking me to fucking bullshit ass places like this. So I went off on bro. I was like, fuck you, bro. I didn't say nothing. Shut your bitch ass up, bro. And it just got bad. And at this point, my mother's like, we gotta fucking go. We gotta leave, right? And I don't even know why we're here. I thought we were going to a parade, guys. I was like, Mom, why do you always gotta take me to some fucked up ass places when we're just trying to go to a parade and have fun? Let's just leave here and stop being sad and stop being around meth, and let's go pick up Lucy and let's go to the parade and do what we were supposed to do, right? And my mom starts getting mad because I have a fucking point, right? And she's like, no, we're not leaving now. And I start crying, right? And I'm like, why do you have to fucking be like this, Mom? And this is kind of what started me having a bad day to begin with. Like, you'll see later on in the story how this, like, kind of, like, wandered and, like, fell off into a horrible time. But, guys, I'm not having it with my mother. I'm telling her, look, you're just mad because I have a fucking point, right? And she turns back and goes, boom, and smacks the shit out of me, right? And I'm like, you fucking ruined the whole day. What the fuck? What is wrong with you, Mom? And I got out the car, right? And I ran, right? And I called my grandma, and I was like, Grandma, you gotta fucking tell her to chill out, right? And eventually, guys, all of this fucking bullshit went by. I don't really want to talk about this much, but just know that RoyalStonerz has a little bit of a dysfunctional mother. She's good now, but she used to be a little bit dysfunctional. Well, boys, after all that arguing and bickering, my mother decided on we could go to the parade, but we're not picking up Lucy, right? I think my mother just didn't really like Lucy, maybe, but I don't know, guys. Even my mother will tell you this story time is like factual. I'm gonna get my mother and my grandmother on a fucking story time video one day, but stay tuned for that. But anyways, you know, after all that bullshit, we end up fucking leaving, right? And it's just me and my mom, and we're going to go to the fucking parade, and I have to hit up fucking Acid Man, right? Because all that bullshit that just went down completely distracted me from getting the mushrooms and acid for us. So we're driving there, right? And my mom just looks over at me and she's like, "Hey, are we still gonna get those mushrooms and acid?" And I'm just like, "Yes, of fucking course, Mom. Yes, we are." Like, what? Bruh, we just had a bullshit ass time and you're gonna ask me that, bruh? That's all you fucking care about. That's all I thought. But anyways, on the way downtown, boys and girls, where the parade was going to be happening, we hit up the acid plug, the mushroom plug that we're gonna call Eric. His name is Eric, okay? We're calling this dude Eric. We hit up Eric, right? And we said, "Hey, bro, do you think we could meet you downtown and get some acid and some mushrooms for the parade?" And he was just like, "Yeah, bro, that's cool. That's fine with me, bro. Meet me downtown." And I was like, "Fucking bet, let's go." Honestly, if he would have said no at this point, I would have lost my fucking shit. I would have went goddamn bananas because of what just happened. So, you know, we're traveling downtown. My mom's blaring fucking music in the car and shit. And we get there eventually, right? And we park, and we end up going to go walk around so that we could find this dude, right? And I call him, I'm like, "Hey, bro, where you at? We're downtown, we're walking around. Where the fuck are you, bro? You need to show up right now or we're gonna fucking kill you," right? I didn't say that for real, but he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm over here at this certain spot that I'm not going to name out loud because then you guys will know where I'm from." But he was at that spot, so, you know, we walked over to that area. We met, bro. We got the acid and the mushrooms, right? I gave my mom her tab. I got my mushroom bar and my acid, right? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, so I don't want to be tripping too hard around my grandma, but I want to trip hard because, you know, it's a fucking parade. I want to have fun. So as soon as I get this fucking mushroom bar, guys, it was wrapped in tinfoil, right? I dab bro up. I dab up Eric. I'm like, "Hey, bro, thank you. You are really appreciated, my guy." And, you know, we leave, right? I'm looking at my fucking mushroom bar and my acid. I put my acid in my pocket, and I'm looking at my mushroom bar that's wrapped in tinfoil, and I just unravel that bitch and take that shit, right? So I do that, and we're walking back to go to where my grandma and them are standing. As I'm walking over there, guys, I'm chewing up this mushroom bar, and all I taste is fucking chocolate and little bitty bits of mushrooms. Now, if you have ever eaten a mushroom bar, guys, then you know what I'm talking about. That shit literally masks the taste of the mushrooms. I didn't taste the mushrooms at all, but I could feel the little bits of mushrooms between my teeth and shit like that. But, you know, we're walking to go meet my grandma and shit as I'm eating this shit, enjoying my fucking chocolate mushroom bar. And we're walking over there, right? And we see them, we meet up with the family, right? It's kind of like one of those, like, family sitcom type shits, you know? I meet up with the family, the laughing audio track starts playing as I walk up to the family and shit, and, you know, clapping just starts erupting and shit, and we're just vibing at the parade. And around this time, we're just sitting by these, like, metal gates that block off the road while there's a parade. If you guys have ever been to a parade, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I'm gonna let my boy Chad show y'all real quick. Now this is what I'm talking about, boys and girls. These thingies, these little motherfuckers. So, you know, we're sitting by these things, fucking having a great time. I'm not feeling the mushrooms yet, so, you know, I'm just vibing out, right? And eventually, like, maybe 20 minutes later, 20 minutes go by, right? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna pop this fucking tab. Fuck it, I'm having a great night tonight. So I grab the tab out of my pocket, right? I take it out of its little fucking baggie, and I pop that bitch in my mouth, right? Now, guys, mushrooms and acid together is a wild fucking experience, bro. It's really fucking crazy. Like, I'm gonna just say this right now. A lot of people out there say that acid and mushrooms cancel out each other, but not for me. That shit mixed together fucking beautifully, bro. I remember when I popped the tab around that time, I started feeling the mushrooms a bit, right? So, you know, I'm starting to get my body's starting to feel a little warm, and I'm starting to feel goofy. I'm in a laughing mood, and we're just standing around waiting for the parade to come, and eventually the parade comes, right? And I'm fucking feeling these shrooms at this point, bro. Everything's fucking moving a bit, and like everything kind of looks like it's growing and shrinking, you know what I mean? And like going up and down and shit. And I got the giggles, bro. And I'm just feeling warm all over, man. And everything feels awesome, right? So we're watching this parade go by. We're jumping up in the air. We're catching beads and shit. We're catching all kinds of things. And then, guys, this acid starts to fucking kick in. Now, when the acid started to kick in, I started feeling tingly, bro. Like, electricity went through my body, and I started feeling up. So now I'm, like, fucking up at the parade, bro. I'm jumping around, yelling and shit, having a great fucking time. Hugging my mom, hugging my grandma, hugging everybody, bro. I'm watching as the colors swirl and dance around off of these parade floats. And I'm also watching as fucking colors swirl around and burst off into fireworks looking fractals and shit. You know, the classic visuals. We're having a lit time off the acid and shrooms, boys and girls. And I look over at my mom, right? And she took her a half tab. And I also gave her a fucking piece of my mushroom bar. I forgot to mention that. I gave her a piece of my mushroom bar, even though she was being a bitch to me earlier, but that is besides the point. It was still my mother. She still is my mother, so, you know, I'm gonna treat her like family. But I look over at my mom and shit, and she's just fucking having a great time as well. You know, she's laughing and smiling. She has beads around her neck and stuff, and, like, she's glowing, you know, because I'm tripping on fucking mushrooms and acid. Everybody's glowing, boys and girls. I'm seeing everybody's energy radiating off of their bodies, guys, and like everything is fucking moving and shit. I'm seeing fractals, I'm seeing fucking fireworks and shit, bro, like sparkly stuff. But she has beads around her neck, fucking like those light up bracelets around her neck and stuff, and everybody has them bitches out. And dude, I'm telling you, parades are a good place to go to while tripping, because there were so many fucking bright colors and so much cool music and so many things going on. It was an amazing distraction for my fucking hyper-fixated mind. Now, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody out there who's not experienced with tripping, but I was having a lit time. So we're sitting here watching as this parade goes by, boys and girls. We're watching the marching bands go by, you know, with their big drums and shit and their tubas, and I'm watching as these visuals just fucking go nuts, go cuckoo, man. I'm watching as their instruments fucking wiggle around and melt onto the floor and shit, and I'm watching, dude, a parade float ended up going by, right? And I remember looking at it, and it looked like a Joker, because the parade floats, guys, if you've ever been to like a parade or anything like that, they usually are like Joker themed, or like they have like masks and stuff. So like the parade floats looked crazy, bro. I remember looking at the fucking floats going, holy shit, because it just looked fucking wild. They looked like big giant fucking like heads just moving on a giant fucking like vehicle. Like, it looked like someone took a giant's head, cut that motherfucker off, and stuck it on a giant vehicle, okay? But eventually the parade was over, guys. It didn't last that long. It lasted like an hour, right? And sorry, I had to take a vape break. We ended up leaving, right? You know, the guys that came to clean up the parade came by. They took the gates up. You know, the street sweepers came by. They cleaned up the roads and stuff. They fucking sweeped up everything, and we went to our car, right? I said goodbye to my grandma and my aunt and stuff, because my mom was gonna take me home, right? And I said goodbye to them, and me and my mom walked off to our car. And guys, this is where shit started getting even more fucking like crazy, okay? I'm gonna let y'all know right now, trying to find your car on mushrooms and acid is hard, okay? So, you know, me and my mom are just walking around downtown looking for our fucking car because we forgot where the hell it was. You know, we're walking around, we're on a brick road at this point, just walking, and we're fucking tripping nuts. Like, look at everything. Like, look. I was talking to my mom, I was like, look at the fucking floor, it's moving and shit. Do you see that? And she's just like, yes, I see it, but we gotta find the fucking car. And, you know, as we're walking along the fucking yellow brick road of my downtown area, we're looking at the fucking bricks in the fucking road, and I'm just like, yo, these bricks are fucking magical. They're mystical. Like, I'm seeing fucking rivers in them full of fucking geometrical shapes and patterns and stuff, and I keep getting lost, boys. I'm getting fucking confused, and we're getting even more lost. We don't know where the car is. And guys, we end up finding the car. We get there, and my mom has to take a piss, right? And I'm like, bro, there's no porta potties around. There's no nothing. You should have taken a piss when we were by the porta potties. And she's like, no, you don't fucking talk to me like that. I'm gonna go take a piss over here. You just make sure nobody sees. So, you know, she just goes over to the front of the car, and I turn the fucking other way, and she starts pissing in public, right? And this is fucking stupid. She literally commits a crime while we're on drugs, and we're about to be driving on drugs. But it's okay, right? She pisses in front of God and everybody. Cars are passing us by. People are walking downtown looking at her because it's fucking a parade's going on, guys. Or it just did. So, you know, after that, right, we got in the car, and we ended up driving off, right? Now, my mom was tripping a lot harder than I was, okay? And that's saying a lot, guys, because I was tripping absolute fucking nuts. But she was tripping way fucking harder than I was at this point, okay? Like, I'm talking, boys, she didn't know how to drive anymore, okay? Now, I honestly should have cut her some slack because this was the first time she did LSD ever since she was a goddamn teenager, and I didn't really know this. I thought my mother was accustomed to, like, how real LSD felt, but no, she really wasn't. Now, guys, I feel like I should mention the acid and mushrooms I was doing at this time were out of this fucking world good, okay? Especially the acid. It was some of the cleanest LSD I had ever in my life, okay? And I warned my mom before we got this shit. I was like, Mom, this is gonna be some really, really, really strong acid. And she was like, don't fucking tell me. I've done this shit before. I did it when I was a teenager. I can fucking handle it. She could not handle it, guys. She could not handle it at all. She was tripping off of the half tab and a piece of a mushroom bar. So, you know, we're driving in the car. We're getting out of downtown, and we end up getting on the road, and I'm just like, hey, Mom, I don't want to go home. I kind of want to go to my friend. What are we gonna call her? Fuck, I've used a lot of names. We're gonna call her Kelly. Mom, I want to go to my friend Kelly's house. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to my house. I want to go over to Kelly and Lucy's, right? Because Kelly at the time, dude, I've known Kelly's for so fucking long. That's literally my lifelong friend. I knew her since the 3rd or 2nd grade, guys, and we used to be friends before we did drugs and shit like that, so we've been friends for a while, and I've known Lucy for a long time, too. But at the moment, Lucy's in jail, boys and girls, and fucking Kelly's trapping, so yeah. But, you know, we're driving, right, and my mom is like, how the fuck do we get to Kelly's house? And I type it into Google Maps, I put it in, we have to go to this fucking trailer park, and we're driving there, and it takes us a good 30 minutes for me and my mother both to realize that she keeps going in a fucking circle. You know, she's on the phone with her friend we're gonna call fucking Joker, because that dude looks like the Joker, right? You know what? Nah, fuck this dude. I'm putting him on blast, guys. Here's this man's whole fucking rap career. Go check this dude out and show him some fucking support. Or hate, whatever you want to show him. But this was the motherfucker that my mother was going to hang out with this night.
It's the Joker boy. Corrupt the minds, man, 5150, you know what I'm saying? FPMS, front porch mafia shit. Psychotic intentions, you know what I'm saying? Dirty beef. Bet you never heard of me. Straight G, I'm out these dirty streets. These dirty streets. That's alright, you gon' learn.
She was on the phone with her friend Joker, and she was just like, hold on, I'm trying to figure out where we gotta go. I'm trying to figure out where we gotta go. Where do we go, Peyton? Where do we go? I'm just like, Mom, calm down, right? And she ends up stopping in the middle of the road, guys. I'm not even fucking joking. And she's just like, where do we go? I don't know where we're going. And I'm like, Mom, look at the Google Maps. That's where it's telling us to go. Go there. I don't know how to explain it more than that. And she's just like, oh, I know where we go. And I'm just like, motherfucker. And she ends up driving us there, guys. And it took what felt like 10 years, but It was probably like an hour to get there, and we eventually arrive at Kelly and Lucy's house, right? And my mom comes in for like a split second to say what's up to everybody. We arrive, okay, look, I'm gonna tell y'all what Lucy's and fucking Kelly's house looks like. It was a fucking trailer. The front door was like kicked in. It didn't have a lock or anything like that. It was the trap. You walked in, there was air mattresses on the ground, one good mattress where Kelly slept, and just a desk where there was meth pipes and all kinds of crazy shit. Needles, fucking needle caps, cotton balls, all kinds of shit, okay? So look, we walk into the fucking trap. My mother joins us for 1 second, only to tell us that she's going to her friend Joker's house and that she's going to leave me here because she wants to go have fun with her friend. I'm just like, okay, that's cool, Mom, because, you know, I wanted to come here anyways. And she was just like, yeah, well, let your grandma know that you're not still staying at Kelly or Lucy's house, because, guys, at the time, my grandma didn't want me staying at these people's house, and it was for a very good reason, because I think you guys can get the idea. I kind of explained what the place looked like, and, yeah. I forgot to also mention there were dogs everywhere. There was, like, 2 dogs there, and the whole house smelled like dog shit and dog piss. It was just a wonderful place to be, boys. I really wanted to stay there, so my mom ends up leaving, right? And I'm chilling with Lucy and Kelly, and we're just fucking vibing, right? We're having a great time. I'm like, hey, y'all, can I hit the fucking meth pipe? And they're just like, what are you on, RoyalStonerz? And I was like, fuck, you caught me. Nah, I'm just playing, but I was like, I'm on mushrooms and acid, okay? And I'm on gabapentin, but it doesn't fucking matter, okay? I will be fine, alright? I'm over here convincing them that I will be completely okay, knowing deep down in my soul that I probably wouldn't, but I just really wanted to get high. Look, I was taking gabapentin every day at this point, guys. I forgot to mention that to y'all. But I was taking gabapentin, kratom, and a lot of other things too. But I was on kratom, acid, and mushrooms, and gabapentin. I told them that, and they were just like, I don't know if you should be hitting this then. And I was like, bro, I've hit it so many times before, it doesn't fucking matter. Just give it to me, right? So they hand that shit to me, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm finna fucking figure out what acid, mushrooms, and meth feels like. So, you know, I get that fucking meth pipe, I put it up to my lips, boys and girls, and you know what I start to do? I start to go. And I roast that fucking bowl, boys and girls. That was just a reenactment, by the way. I'm not smoking fucking meth, but I did that, right? I hit that shit, right? Boys, I was seeing so many visuals at this point already. Like, everything was breathing, everything had a pattern on it. It kind of looked like the walls, like, were, like, moving and dripping down with, like, different fractal patterns. You know what I mean? And when I hit this fucking meth, it was like everything stopped for just a split second, right? And then all of a sudden, it was like, this is your captain speaking. We are about to be fucked. We are, have ingested too much methamphetamine, and we are about to be sent to fucking hyperspace. It was like the visual sped up, bro. I hit this shit, and I blew out the cloud, and I was like, whoa! I started feeling a little bit of pressure on my chest as soon as I hit this shit, right? Because every time you do meth, it kind of makes your chest feel a little funny. I don't know, I mean, it did for me, right? But when you mix that shit with other drugs, your chest is going to be feeling heavy, because that shit affects your heart bad, and you're not supposed to mix it with other shit. But I blew out the smoke, my chest starts feeling heavy, the visuals start going... They start going zooming, boys. They're all over the place. Some people were talking about how meth and acid, like, and mushrooms mixed together, it, like, the meth kills your trip or something like that. But it didn't for me. It made everything fucking zoomy, right? So I'm sitting there talking their heads off. I'm like, bro, everything looks so fucking pretty. I'm like, I'm tripping balls, right? So we're passing around this meth pipe, and I'm talking to them about this fucking trip I'm experiencing right now. And I'm just like... telling them all the shit I'm seeing, all the colors I'm seeing, all this fucking beautiful insights I'm having, and I end up making them want to trip. They're just talking to me like, oh man, you should have brought some for us to try too, and I was just like, man, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have ate it all, man, and they were just like, yeah, man, you should have shared, man. I was like, fuck, I feel bad. But Kelly ends up rolling up a joint. Now, guys, throughout the whole entire night, we were smoking meth shard after meth shard and smoking joint after fucking joint, okay? We didn't even give it a goddamn break until Kelly left, but we'll get into that, right? So look, I'm sitting there hitting the meth, right? Kelly's rolling up a joint. She gets that shit rolled. I give the meth pipe to them. I'm like, I'm good for right now because I'm seeing so much shit and I'm fucking sweating balls at this point, bro. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I should hit anymore. So, you know, we're all chilling, right? And she got that joint rolled. She sparks that shit up and we're smoking weed now. Lucy and Kelly are passing around the meth pipe still while this joint's also in rotation, right? And the joint eventually gets handed to me, right? And when I hit this joint, it does nothing to me, guys. I don't know if you've ever experienced this while being on so many different drugs before, but usually when I would hit a joint while on acid or mushrooms, it would make it more intense. But no, it low-key just made me feel a little weird. I was smoking this joint with them, passing it back and forth. They eventually get done smoking their meth, right? And we get that shit smoked, right? And I'm fucking geeking, boys and girls. We're sitting there talking, right? We're all catching up. I'm talking to Kelly and Lucy, and we're just talking about, like, all the old times and shit about whenever me and Kelly used to go to school together and shit. And, like, we're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. She's just like, hey, man, isn't it kind of crazy how we grew up listening to rap and shit, and now we're doing shit like that? And all I thought to myself was, Kelly, I am not trapping or anything like this. You're the one doing that. I just do drugs. But I was like, yeah, man, it's fucking wild how we're living like that now, bro. We're fucking trapping and shit. We're gangsters. We're all talking and stuff, tweaking our fucking asses off, right? When eventually, Kelly says, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. And me and Lucy were just sitting there alone talking now. So me and Lucy were talking, right? And I was like, what do you think Kelly's going in there to do? And Lucy was just like, she's probably going in there to shoot up, if I'm being honest with you. And I was like, what? No way. So I get up, right? My dumb ass. I get up. I walk out to the fucking, like, to go to the bathroom, right? And I open up the bathroom door and nobody's in there. If she was in there, boys, that would have been fucked. That would have been completely fucked. I was tripping, though. So, like, I get up, I look into the bathroom. Lucy's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm trying to see what she's doing. You said she was shooting up, so now I'm fucking curious. So I go to the back room, and sure enough, boys, she was back there shooting up. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna leave her be. So we walk back to the other room, right? To the living room where the fucking trap was at, and we're just chilling. We're looking through shit. We're looking through all of Kelly's stuff, not like stealing or anything, but we're just looking, you know, because I'm tweaking on meth, mushrooms, LSD, and fucking kratom and gabapentin, and Lucy's tweaking on meth. So we're just looking through the shit, fucking tweaking. I'm looking at all the pretty colors and shit. I'm looking at everything and threw her out the fucking trailer, right? When me and fucking Lucy come across this bag of pills, right? And I'm like, holy shit, what is this? And Kelly ends up coming back, right? Because she hears the commotion going on about the pills, right? And she comes into the room and she's like, hey, what'd y'all find? And I'm like, look at these, bro. We found a bunch of pills. And there were some white little pills and also some red and white capsule pills, right? So I'm like, hey, do you care if I look these up? And she was just like, wait, I know what those are. That should be pregabalin and it should be tramadol. And there was about like 10 tramadols in there and maybe 6 pregabalins. Now, guys, if y'all don't know what pregabalin is, it's a pretty rare drug to come by, I think. I think so, at least. That's what my mother told me. But pregabalin is used to treat epilepsy and anxiety, but it is also taken to treat nerve pain, right? And it's given to people that, you know, have like conditions such as like fucking diabetes, shingles, or like they fucking give this shit to you after injuries and stuff like that. I think it belongs to the class of anti-epileptic drugs, guys. It's literally a seizure medicine. So yeah, scratch what I said before. It's a seizure medicine, guys. That's what the fuck it is. I remember now, and I also remember that it's also called fucking Lyrica. But let's go on. You know, we had this pregabalin and tramadol, and I was just like, Kelly, what would you do if I just took these? What would I have to give you to have these, right? And she was like, look, they're my old man's. He's in prison right now. He was trying to sell them. You can keep them and you can take them or try to sell them. It's up to you, because I don't want them. And I was like, fucking bet. I was thinking, bet. We just hit the fucking jackpot, baby. I just got some fucking free pills, boys. And guys, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I didn't do a single, well, I did a little bit of research about pregabalin before taking these bitches, but I only did about 10 minutes of fucking research, not even. I think she really gave them to me because she could tell how bad I really wanted them, right? And I really, really liked opiates, guys. So I was like, Fuck yes, guys. Now, look, the smart thing would have been for me to just save those pills for when I was coming down, right? So that I could, like, have something to take whenever, you know, I'm, like, feeling like shit from the meth come down, and the acid come down, and that mushroom come down, and all the other drugs I had in my system, right? But no, guys. I take out 5 tramadols, and I'm like, usually 4 gets me fucked up, so I'm gonna take 5. And I pop 5 of them bitches, right? And I don't even know what these pregabalins do, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll take 2 of these. And I took 2 pregabalins and 5 tramadols while on top of meth, acid, and mushrooms. Now look, this is where things start to get scary, boys and girls. As soon as I take them bitches, right, Kelly ends up announcing to the group, hey, I'm finna have to go make a play. And I'm just like, oh shit, so we're gonna have to be here alone. That's cool, that's fine, that should be chill, right? Well, wrong. Kelly ends up leaving. We're chilling there. I'm high as fuck, right? These tramadols start to kick in. I'm starting to feel really, really fucking weird, guys. Like, my stomach is starting to feel like I'm riding a roller coaster, and my body is starting to twitch, right? And I'm starting to, like, my knees and my legs are starting to get really, really, really weak, right? So I'm just like, fuck it, I don't feel right, I'm popping the rest of these pills. I popped the rest of them, boys and girls, and Lucy's just chilling over there on the phone, right? And me and Lucy were dating at this time. I didn't mention this, I don't think, yet, but we were dating at this time, so this explains why I got so mad later in this story, but you'll see, look. She's chilling over there talking on her phone, right? And I walk over and I'm looking at her phone and she's talking to this man. And I'm just like, who the fuck are you talking to? And she's like, Mikey. And then she's just like, he's my mom's friend. We're not doing nothing like that. And I read some of the messages and then she's calling him boo and shit like that. And like babe and stuff and love. And I'm like, oh, hell nah, right? So this is where I start to get a little mad, right? And I'm like, bro, tell him to pull up right now. I will shoot his ass right now, dead in this fucking trailer. If he pulls up right, I swear to God, if you get him to pull up, I'm gonna stab him to death, bro. I swear I'm gonna shoot him. Because Kelly had a gun in that trailer, right? And me and Lucy were the only ones who knew where it was. But, so I was like ready to kill this man. I was like, bro, get him to pull up right now. And she was like, no, it ain't even like that. Guys, now looking back, I think she was really just fucking dudes for money so that she could supply her drug habit and shit like that. Maybe she really didn't love the people she was doing this with, but still, guys, she was a whore. Doesn't matter either way, either which way. You can't make a right or wrong, or you can't make a wrong a right, you know? So fuck it. We're gonna hit a bowl real quick before we get into the rest of this, guys. Ooh, that was great. At this point, guys, I'm pacing around the room. I'm fucking mad. I don't know what to do. I can't get this off of my mind. My trip is killed. The visuals are died down now at this point. And I'm just like, bro, let's smoke some meth. Let's do something, Lucy. We gotta do something because you just pissed me the fuck off and I need to get out of my mind. So, look, we end up smoking some more meth just to, like, I guess calm me down. But it didn't calm me down, right? And I'm still sitting over here mad as fuck thinking, right? And she ends up going to the bathroom, right, to shave her legs. That's what she was telling me she was gonna do. And, about, I don't know how long happened. I was just sitting in the chair with the meth pipe in my phone and just hitting that shit over and over again and playing on my phone. But when she came back, she had rashes all over her fucking legs, guys. And I was tweaking. I was like, oh, fuck, does she have an STD? I was like, fuck. But turns out it was from the Nair, guys. She was using Nair to fucking, like, shave her legs or whatever. And it fucking, like, burnt the dog shit out of her. So she comes out, she's like, oh my god, I'm fucking burnt and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, she has to have like hepatitis or something, bro. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm like, this bitch just gave me AIDS, bro. This bitch just gave me cancer. So look, this girl did end up giving me something in the future, but we're gonna have to talk about that later. I'm like, bro, you need to go to the doctor, right? I'm gonna call my mom or something for you. And she's like, no. I'm gonna call up Mikey, right? And I'm gonna get him to come and take me to the doctor. And I'm just like, hold on a second. What? I was like, what the fuck? Why are you gonna call him, the guy that you was just calling boo, babe, and love? You're gonna come and get him to take you to the doctors. Like, what? That don't make no goddamn sense to me. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you, you stupid bitch. And I end up walking away, right? And she's like, no, come back. What are you gonna fucking do? And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this place. I fucking hate all of you. And I ended up looking through the drawers and stuff. I'm ravaging through this trailer at this point, looking for shit to do, right? I'm like, fuck it. I'm killing myself. Now, guys, I was really depressed during this time. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but it was a really sad time, right? I was looking through all the drawers and stuff, and I ended up finding a bottle of these off-brand Benadryls. Now, fucking guys, this is where it starts getting really bad. These bitches were called, like, nighttime somethings, I forgot. But every single little blue pill had 50 milligrams of diphenhydramine in it. And I just tell her, look, I said, I'm gonna fucking take 30 of these. What are you gonna fucking do about it? And she grabs the bottle from me, right? And she's like, if you take these, I'm gonna take some too. And I'm like, fucking give me that shit. You ain't gonna take any, right? And I'm like, I'm not gonna take any either. You know, I call her bluff real quick because I know this bitch ain't taking nothing. I know she just didn't want me to take them and have to deal with a dead fucking body. So I put it in my pocket, right? And she's on her phone talking to that fucking Mikey dude still. And I take the Benadryls out of my pocket. And I start secretly popping them bitches like candy, right? And eventually, like a good 3, maybe 2 minutes go by. And I have at least like swallowed 60 Benadryls, and she catches me swallowing some more at this point. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she grabs them from me, right? And I'm just like, fuck you. I took them, bitch. What the fuck you gonna do now, right? Now, everybody listening right now, I didn't take 60. I would say I took around at least 30, right? So I had 1,500 milligrams of diphenhydramine just floating around in my fucking belly, just waiting to erupt like a volcano of fucking Benadryl. So I talked to this bitch and I looked and I said, I guess we're in for a wild ride, huh, bitch? She took them from me and she was like, you're gonna fucking die. She was like, you took like half the bottle. You gotta go to the fucking hospital. That's why I say I knew it was a lot. But look, guys, about 20, not even 20 minutes, bro, maybe 15 minutes go by and I start seeing a bunch of things, bro. Like, everything starts getting foggy, right? And I start feeling really weird. And I'm just talking to Lucy and I'm just like, I'm not making any fucking sense, okay? And I'm trying to talk to her and she's like shaking me and like touching me and shit. And I'm just like, get the fuck off of me and shit like that. And I try to get up, guys, right? And when I get up, I start walking, right? And I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this shit, but I'm walking and I get to like the doorway of the hallway, right? Because I want to go to the bedroom and lay down, right? I'm like not feeling good at all. I want to go lay down. I want to be alone, right? I want to go to the bedroom where there's a bed and I would be alone, right? So I could die in fucking peace, you know? So I get to the hallway, right? And it feels like I got pushed. Or it feels like my legs like locked and I fell over and I hit my head. And my whole body just started feeling stiff. And like I started shaking, right? Now, this was the first time that I had ever had a Benadryl seizure this fucking bad ever in my entire life. Now, I had seizures before where my eyes would shoot towards the ceiling and I wouldn't be able to look down, but nothing ever compared to this bad. And I go to push myself up to try to pick myself up and I fall over again, right? And guys, this happened like a good 3 or 4 times. I don't know what the fuck was happening. I think it was seizures, right? But I keep on pushing myself up and falling over, right? And Lucy hears this bang, 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 over and over and over again. So she comes in there and tries to pick me up and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she helps me up and takes me in there, right? Guys, at this point, it starts getting really sad because she's like holding me, trying to make me feel better, right? And I'm shaking and shit. And I had pissed on myself at this point. I was covered in piss. I was shaking. I couldn't walk. I was falling over and shit. I was mumbling. And I was seeing fucking dead people and shit. That's all I remember, bro. That was like one of the most vivid hallucinations I remember from this time, guys. Besides somebody banging on the fucking window later. But we're getting to that, guys. Whenever she left me in there alone, at one point, I remember getting up because I heard a loud fucking bang on the window, right? And I look out the window and I see people looking through the window and running around and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I look beside me when I get up and there's just like dead people. Just like literally sitting beside me, bro. But it was hallucinations. I know it was because these people looked like they had been dead for a while. And I just see dead people beside me, bro. And I'm getting up and I'm falling over again, bro. And I'm like, at this point, I'm on my stomach in the hallway and I'm crawling, right? Covered in my own piss and my vomit from all the seizures and shit. And I'm trying to crawl in there to be like, help me. Like, I need help. I need somebody to take me to the hospital or something. And I couldn't make the words out. I I couldn't say help, you know. I couldn't ask for it. I couldn't be like, yo, help me, because I was so fucked up I couldn't even talk. But I fell asleep, right? I woke up, right, and I was somewhat okay. I was still fucking dizzy, and I still was feeling like my legs were weak and shit, right? And I was still super fucking delirious and hearing shit. And I just kept on, like, thinking people were talking to me when they weren't, you know? And I was, like, saying, huh, a lot. But I didn't say that until after I asked Lucy this question. But I got up and I was like, where's my mom at? And Lucy was like, she's on the fucking way. The whole entire trailer, guys, was torn apart. I'm talking like trashed. The beds were flipped over. The TV was flipped over. All the drawers were thrown everywhere. The clothes were everywhere. The gun was missing. Everything was fucking gone, right? I was covered in my own piss, wearing my fucking pissy pants, right? I had throw up on my shirt and shit. And I was talking to fucking Lucy while my mom was on the way, right? And I was just like, what the fuck happened last night? And she was like, you went completely fucking crazy. You pissed yourself, kept on having seizures and falling over, and you trashed the entire fucking trailer looking for a gun to kill Mikey. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And guys, when I said what the fuck, it all started coming back to me. And I was like, oh my god, no. And I'm sitting here talking to Lucy, and she's just looking at me like I'm fucking cuckoo crazy because I'm still in a fucking Benadryl psychosis. Well, a Benadryl meth psychosis, boys. My mom comes and picks me up, right? And I get in the car with her. And she looks at me and she's like, oh my god. And my mom has the most shocked look on her face I've ever seen in my fucking life, guys. Because I look like I just died. Like, I look like my pupils are big. I'm sweating. I'm grinding my jaw. I'm talking about how there was people fucking there. I'm talking about how I saw dead people and how Lucy snuck people inside while I was asleep and shit like that and fucked them, and how they beat my ass and shit like that. Okay, guys, look. The seizures, I know they were seizures now, but at the time, I remember thinking somebody beat me up. Like, seriously, I thought somebody had beat my ass, okay? But no, it was really seizures, bro. Like, seriously. I mean, somebody might have beat my fucking ass. I really don't know. But, look, we're on the way home, right? And I don't really remember much after this, guys, because I was on fucking planet Jupiter. I just remember when I got home, I had to go to the hospital, and I ended up going to the hospital and shit, and they ended up asking me if I wanted to go to rehab after I fucking came down, and I was like, fuck you. And you know, my fucking piss test came back and lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. They told me I had like over 6 or 7 drugs in my system at this time, boys and girls. And the whole time I kept on denying that I wanted to kill myself, and I kept on saying, no, I'm not depressed and shit like that, because I didn't want to get locked away, boys and girls. But I also need to mention, this is where I figure out that Lucy gave me something else other than permanent fucking mental trauma. The doctors come back into the room, right, and they're just like, you have trichomonas and chlamydia. And I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? And I am fucking blown away. I'm shocked. I'm like, ew, this dirty fucking whore. And boys, I know it was her because at the time, she was the only girl I was fucking. And I know that for a fucking fact. Unless while I blacked out on those drugs, I fucked some other girl, but I highly doubt that happened. And guys, I'm kind of in a psychosis still at the hospital, right? Well, not kinda, but very much so, still in a very, 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 very bad psychosis at the hospital. Like, I was still hearing my name being called. I was still seeing fucking fog. I kept on feeling really, really weird. Like, I still had the roller coaster feeling. I was feeling bad. And on top of that, guys, I still felt the very, very, very big rush of energy from the meth I did the night before. And nobody's really sure if I'm gonna come back at this point, because like I was actually genuinely going fucking cuckoo. Like, I remember my grandma telling me after this shit happened that they actually told her they didn't know if I was gonna actually come back or not. They thought that I was actually gonna be stupid for the rest of my life and that I might just be in a psychosis forever, because apparently that does happen to some people. But you know, your boy RoyalStonerz over here got that strong-minded Benadryl taking mind. But so, you know, after figuring this news out about me having these goddamn STDs, boys, I start to notice the IV in my arm is starting to bother me, and I'm like, man, this thing is really bugging me. I really don't fucking like this piece of shit. I think I'm gonna rip this hoe out. And guys, I do end up ripping the motherfucker out. I was losing my goddamn mind, boys. I was hearing things. I kept on going, huh? What? What'd you say, huh? To my grandma and shit, because I wasn't fully recovered, guys. When you trip on Benadryl and meth, and when you mix them two together, be prepared to be into a psychosis for a very long fucking time. So after ripping my IV out, the fucking nurses rush in there and to calm me down, you know, they rush in there with the goddamn needle full of Ativan, and they're like, look, we gotta give this boy more fucking drugs because he's acting a goddamn fool. He's gonna hurt himself or harm somebody else, so we gotta shoot him up full of more Ativan while he's already on narcotics, just so we can get him a little bit even more fucked up. So, you know, they come in there, they do that, right? And guys, I pass out. And when I pass out, I start having some crazy vivid hallucinations while I'm dreaming. Like, I remember my dream starting off like this. I'm gonna try to tell you guys the best way I possibly can. It started off with me opening up my eyes, right? And I was in the hospital bed. And all I can remember, right, is them pulling me through the hospital. Like, the doctors were, like, there was nurses above me, there was nurses in the front of my feet and stuff. And they were rushing me through the hospital. All of them were, like, around the hospital like a circle, over and over and over again, just showing me different rooms of the hospital, right? And the nurses and doctors looked evil while they were doing it. I don't know why. I thought they were just like trying to show me something bad, right? And we eventually got to this room, right, where they were showing me this crazy shit, and all I saw was my little brother and this really dark entity, and this dark entity just swallowed my little brother whole, and I freaked the fuck out, guys. This is where shit really hit the fan, like, for me personally, because I don't take shit like this lightly. I love my little brother to death, and I know you guys would fucking flip out too if you saw some dark entity swallow your little brother whole. Fuck these hospitals, man. They gave me Ativan, and I full-heartedly believe I wouldn't have seen no shit like this unless they gave me, if they didn't give me that Ativan. If they would have gave me something else to help me sleep, it would have been better, but that Ativan made me hallucinate, bro. You know, honestly, fucking, hold up, I take that back. It wasn't completely the hospital's fault, because, you know, I did take like 1,000 fucking something milligrams of goddamn Benadryl, so that was my fault too. But I saw that, right, and I got up, I woke up out of my sleep, and I was like, where's my little brother? Is he okay? And you guys, you can ask my grandma this in the story times. Whenever I have her on there one day, you can ask her this. This truly did happen. I woke up and I was like, where's my little brother? Is he okay? Are they hurting him? And she was like, what are you talking about? Yes, he's okay. Do you want to talk to him right now? And I was like, no, if he's okay, then that's fine, right? And guys, this was just a long fucking event of bullshittery until eventually, you know, we left the hospital. But guys, that's where it all ended, boys and girls. But yeah, guys, don't ever fucking do this shit out there. If you ever feel sad, just smoke some weed. But yeah, I love you motherfuckers. I really do hope y'all enjoyed this story time. If y'all did, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for more, and yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.